The Murray is Australia's mightiest river and one of the world's most illustrious, extending over 2,560 kilometres from its source in Victoria's Snowy Mountains to its mouth in South Australia. It is part of an enormous river system, without which Australia would quite simply never have become the major primary producer it is today. Each of the present operators of the tourist paddle boats on the river have the history down pat and can entertain with yarns of past and present activities both amusing and tragic. The little chapel boat used to bring comfort to the early settlers as the priest married couples, christened babies, and all too often conducted the burials. The rivers nourish the land, but in the 1880s they were also the prime transport medium. The life of the port was closely linked to the rise and fall of the Murray River, and during the summer months paddle steamers tied up to trees on the river bank at Euchca and waited. At the first rise in water level, skippers and crew would get up steam and be off to compete for cargoes in faraway places, making life in Euchca a rough and ready affair. So successful was this venture that the port area and the restored paddle steamers were used as film sets for all The River's Run, Parts 1 and 2. In 1965, the Euchca City Council resolved that the wharf and its immediate surroundings should be preserved and restored as part of Australia's heritage. The aim of the port restoration is to recreate the old port of Euchca as it existed during the years of the riverboat trade, from the 1890s to about 1900. And in doing this, to provide the visitor with an accurate picture of the role played by Euchca in a transport system which no longer exists. The port of Euchca is alive and well. It is not a crusty, fusty museum. The sights, sounds and smells take you back 100 years. An old-fashioned house and an old-fashioned garden with a very modern cup of tea with muffins. The clippity-clop of horses pulling a coach. The honest, clean, charcoaly smell of a steam engine. The chug-a-lug of the pedals. The cheeky hoot of a boat whistle. The heat from a blacksmith's forge. And the smell of the red gun chips in the woodturner's shop. And the tang of turps and oils as the resident painter demonstrates his art. And above all else, the river. The Murray River, no longer a station and mill lifeline, carries holiday makers on houseboats, day travellers on hourly trips and restored paddle steamers, and has renewed Euchca's status as the busiest inland port in Australia.